Very good. Okay. This is Mike Sylvia here with New Bedford Guide. Tonight we're going to be going through the New Bedford elections. We're going to go through one candidate at a time. Check the link below. You're going to be able to see the schedule for tonight. So first person we have is from Ward 2, Edwin Cartagena. So Edwin, go ahead. You got 5 minutes to tell us why someone should vote for you for Ward 2, and then we're going to take questions off of Facebook and throw them out to you for 5 minutes.
Awesome. All right, Mike, thank you and New Bedford Guide for having me here. I believe I'm the best candidate for City Council, mainly because I generally love the city and the people within it. A byproduct of this love and passion that I have for the people in the city of New Bedford is to channel that and then work towards effective changes that will ensure success of all of us today and tomorrow. I believe I have the much-needed personal and professional experience to tackle the many issues that our community is facing today, from crime, public safety, opioid epidemic, and prevention, to name a few. I'm 31 years old, I'm married, I have 3 children, and I grew up in what many consider to be the tougher parts of our city, specifically in Ward 2. I know what it's like to grow up in a single-parent home without a father. I know what it's like to be addicted and homeless. I know what it's like to not have hope. I can relate to the many issues and situations that people find themselves in Ward 2 and abroad. Being caught up in a bad spot and having overcoming those challenges in life, and using that firsthand experience to help people navigate through the system, the resources, and just relationships that are necessary to help people forward. I've been an individual who has been tested and tried long before this election season is happening, a person that is willing to go beyond the call of duty to fill the voids that exist amongst the people. I have done this before the election, many years before, and will continue to do this either in office, if I'm afforded the opportunity, or outside of office. But I believe that the main reason why I'm running is because I am connected to the community on a level that many aren't. I know the pulse of the community, I know the issues that the constituency is facing, and I feel that the professional and firsthand experience will come into play into ensuring the many things that need to happen in regards to safety, the well-being of our families and children, not only for today, but for tomorrow. One main thing I want to put out there is I'm not a career politician. I'm not going to just push papers if I get afforded the opportunity to be in City Council. I am a regular person from the community that will continue to work towards uniting the community, empowering the community, and serving the people. And that's why I feel I am the best candidate for Ward 2.
Okay, so we still got, it's about 3 minutes, so let me ask you a few questions. We don't have any thrown out there yet.
Okay.
So what's the number one concern for Ward 2?
I think the number one concern from what I've heard from the people talking to me is public safety. So people they want to feel and be safe in the neighborhoods. They don't want to fear going home. We have a lot of people that live, let's say, North Front Street. It's not their fault that that's all they can afford, to live there. So these are people that want to be safe in their homes or out of their homes, going to work or whatever it is, and we need to work towards ensuring the safety of the people there and around the whole ward together.
So you get elected day one, what's your first motion or something you would go looking to file? Like, it would be something extremely important to you?
Yeah, I think according to what's been going around, I think the biggest issue right now that people are talking about is the problem property ordinance. And I think that we need to revisit that ordinance and actually give it some teeth, give some of the terminology some really good definitions, and really impose stricter guidelines on what is considered a property ordinance and what isn't. Specifically, if somebody's rated, it shouldn't be the same as a noise complaint. And I think they're very different. And I think that it should be less than, I think it was 8 or something like that before they do anything. I think if you're rated or something like that, it should be that's it, one-shot deal. If you're rated, you should be held accountable.
So what do you think is the, obviously, Ward 2 has North Front Street, has Acushnet Avenue, Tallman Street, some of the higher crime areas. What's the root of crime in New Bedford?
The root of crime? Well, I think it's relative to depending on who you ask. For me, I feel like it's a disconnect. It's a disconnect from either services that are available and people finding their own way to survive. I feel like it's a disconnect at the root of the problem. It could be a disconnect with a father figure. It could be a disconnect with the family or a disconnect with society in general. And so I feel that what we've been able to do is connect with people, meet with them where they are, and establish a connection that will empower them and give them hope to change their today and their tomorrow.
So we talked about problem properties, so obviously the landlords are an issue.
Yes, sir.
Are you kind of saying that it's more a family, or is also a biggest issue?
No, I mean, at the root, I think there's a root to everything, and I think, trying to get all this money to try to keep throwing at it. I mean, we've been around these issues for so many years, and money's come and gone, and it's not really going to get to the problem. I think the unlimited resource that we haven't tapped into is the people themselves, and just trying to meet with them, hear them out, and try to help them navigate through what we have available and empower them.
So the city council and the mayor, they a lot of times don't get along, meaning, like this year, the budget was a big issue, and the city council cut the mayor's office budget because kind of a tit for tat thing. So what do you think your relationship would be with the mayor?
I mean, I think we need to have at minimal a working relationship. Whether we disagree or agree on certain things, we need to find a way to flex to each other to make things happen for the sake of the people. Because at the end of the day, people are the ones that are facing this reality that many don't have to face, and we just have to make it work.
So Jessica asked, New Bedford, or she makes a statement, New Bedford rents are so expensive. Do you think they're expensive? If they are, what can we do about it?
I think in recent years, the rent is kind of going up, but I'd compare it to like Boston. I mean, it's like night and day. It's very cheap. I mean, property values are starting to go back up, and that's technically a good thing for everybody. But in regards to rent, I think that it's at a good price, considering, if we look at other big cities, we're considered small, considered a Boston, but most people want to come to move here because it's so cheap compared to everywhere else.
So what's the best thing about New Bedford?
The best thing about New Bedford? I think it's the diversity found amongst its people. We come from different ethnicities, different cultures. We love different foods. New Bedford has become a melting pot for basically anywhere. And I think that's what we got. That's the best thing we have going for us right now.
So if you got a question, we still got a few minutes. Go ahead and throw it out. So what experience do you bring to the table why people should vote you in office?
I think my experience with one of the major issues facing our community is the opioid epidemic. I've worked professionally in the field, and I volunteered for many of the things in the different initiatives like the Greater New Bedford Opioid Task Force. I am actually a certified recovery coach. So I bring the knowledge base of the local resources to tap into, how to navigate through the system, what works, what doesn't, and I feel that knowledge base is going to help when decision-making for what to do next regarding the opioid epidemic, which then goes into crime and, safety. It's all kind of intertwined, and I feel that experience plays a major factor.
Taxes, are they high, low, or just right?
I mean, I think anybody that pays taxes is always going to say it's high. I think we can always do better, at bringing them down and trying to get it just right. But I think we need to, in order to combat the rising taxes, we have to get more business. We have to get more business into the community. I would like to see more local residents actually go from working a regular job to owning a small business right here at home, owning properties right here at home. I think that's where we're really going to start seeing the difference.
So we got a little left time. It's kind of repetitive but similar. So Sylvia Ilana says, what is the biggest problem in New Bedford right now, and how do you plan on combat it? So what's the biggest problem? How are you going to fix it?
Yeah, I think the biggest problem would probably be the opioid epidemic. which attributes to everything else, like the crime and everything else going on. And I think that what we can do is what I've been a part of from the beginning, and it's going out and meeting people. We need to start just support those efforts that are going on right now at the grassroots level with the New Bedford Police. A bunch of collaboration with doctors and everything like that. So we got the raising of awareness, and we need to definitely ramp up the prevention strategies to help our youth and inform our youth of what's going on.
Okay, so we're hitting the 10-minute mark. So this was Ward 2 candidate Edwin Cartagena. So thanks for your time, Edwin.
All right, thank you.